Hello, my name is Sonia and this is video number 15 in my series, The Basics of Crochet. And today we're going to continue by learning how to work in the round by working around a chain. And as you can see, I have my handy little card here, which stands for round or rounds. So if you would see in a pattern RND, you would know that that stands for round or rounds. And today, again, we're going to learn how to work around a chain in half double crochet. So here is my card for half double crochet, HDC, which stands for half double crochet, just a little refresher there. And we're also going to learn how to work around a chain in triple or treble crochet. So the abbreviation TR, triple or treble crochet, and these again are in US terms. And we're also going to be learning about slip stitching. So the stitch, if you see SLST, you would know that that stands for slip stitch, and you use slip stitches a lot when working in the round, so it's good to know how to use those. So today we're using a 5mm hook, and you can certainly use a G hook. This is an H hook, also 5mm, or an I hook, which is 5.5mm. G's are either 4mm or 4.25. So to get started, we're going to make our slip knot. We're going to chain 7, and as you can see, I'm using worsted weight yarn in a light color so we can see what we're doing. And we're also going to work with stitch markers a little bit more too to get practice with those. So I think I've made 7. I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Alright, so we want to turn this chain into a circle. So to do that, you insert your hook into the first chain you made. We're making a slip stitch or joining. We're going to pull through. So if a pattern says join to form a circle, you know you would use a slip stitch. So we're ready to get started to work 10 half double crochet around this chain. So to get started, we're going to chain 2, and we're going to work our first half double crochet. So we need to do a yarn over first. We're going to insert our hook right in the middle of that circle, pull up our loop. We have our 3 loops, and we are going to pull all through all 3 of those loops right there. Now what I'm going to do here, this chain 2 is going to count as a stitch, but I often like to mark my second stitch because with half double crochet the stitches can get a little bit crunchy and they can get lost. So that's where your stitch markers can really help you out. So we're just going to pop that stitch marker in there, and again I'm using my cheap scrap of yarn here in a contrasting color so I can easily see it. And stitch number 2 in half double crochet is marked, so I know that that is a stitch and it won't get lost in my work. So we have 1, 2, we want to make 10. So here's 3. So yarn over, put your hook right in the middle there, pull up a loop, 4, 5, 6, come on, there we go, 7, 8, and 2 more, 9, and 10. So we want to count these guys to make sure we do indeed have 10. So this guy is number 1, number 2 is marked, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And I'm also going to mark my last stitch so that I know that that is indeed my last stitch for round 1 before I join to complete round 1. So I just got another little scrap of yarn pulled through. It's a contrasting color so I can easily see, yes, that's my stitch marker. Because if you would use a stitch marker in the same color you're working with, you know, you might get a little confused. So we now need to join this circle to complete round 1. So here's our chain 2. We're going to work right on the top there, insert our hook, yarn over, pull through, pull through, and round 1 of our half double crochet around a chain is completed. So we're going to work round 2, we're going to work 20. So that means we're increasing, we're going to work 2 in each stitch. So we're just going to work right back in that stitch there. So now we have 2. And with half double crochet it can get a little crunchy. As you can see, like this guy is crunched up in there. It might be easy to miss. So that's why I marked it. So now I know that that is indeed a stitch. It's not going to get lost in my work. So we work 2. And I'm just going to pull that guy out. I don't need it anymore. So we have made 4. We want to make 20. 5, 6, and with round 2 you just work regular half double crochets all the way around. We're doing an increasing technique because we want this to lay flat. If you wanted it to, you know, cup more, then you wouldn't work as many increased stitches. Because it just depends on what you're making. So that's why you want to pay attention when you're reading a pattern, because you want to do what it says so that your project can be successful. And hopefully the pattern is accurate. I mean, designers, they're not perfect and sometimes they make a mistake. But I just know, I mean, I'm a pattern designer myself. I try really hard to make sure my patterns are accurate, but we're all human and sometimes things happen. So if you can contact the designer, I highly recommend that if you're having an issue. And most designers are really great to work with. I've met some really awesome people with my own patterns, you know, helping them out, or it helps me to be a better designer. So I need to work another stitch in here, I believe. I get talking and I lose track of what I'm doing. So now I know this is my last stitch, and you can see really easily that this looks like a stitch, that looks like a stitch, or like which one is the last stitch. So what this is actually the joining doesn't count as a stitch. So that's why your stitch marker really helps you out. You know, this is my last stitch. Because if you worked in both of these, you might have too many. So we're going to pull that guy out because we know that that's the last stitch. And we're going to work 2 half double crochets in the last stitch. And we are going to see if we do indeed have 20. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. So we're on the right track. We're going to join in our first chain 2 to complete this round. You insert your hook, yarn over, join it with a slip stitch, pull through, and now we have worked 2 rounds of half double crochet, and we started by working around the chain. So you can see, can't even see that chain in there. And you can also pull this guy a little bit tighter. It kind of neatens up the work a little bit. And there you go. Now if you want more practice with half double crochet, you can certainly, you know, work more rounds if you want. But we're going to go and learn about working triple crochet now around a chain. So we're just going to quickly unravel this guy. And that's why it's important, as you can see, I'm unraveling. It's unraveling very easily, to use yarn that's smooth in texture and that's sturdy so that you can practice and it's not knotting up and causing a problem. So we are going to work triple crochet around a chain. So we're going to chain 7 again. So all this is good practice so that when you do start making your own projects, you'll just be able to take off and do it with no problem. So let's make sure we have 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Now again, we want to make this into a circle. So insert our hook into the first chain, yarn over, pull through, no extra yarn over as we've made a slip stitch, we've joined, we've made a circle. So with triple crochet around a chain, it's really easy to see the stitches, so I usually don't need a stitch marker. So we're going to chain 4, and that's going to be our first stitch to get started. 3 and 4. And I think we might need to work at maybe 14 around here because I want it to lay flat. So we're going to yarn over 2 times, insert your hook into the middle, pull up your loop. We've got 4 loops on there. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So we've worked 1 triple crochet around the chain. We're going to keep going. So we'll work at least 14 to see. So since these are taller stitches, you need to work more triple crochets around the chain so that it will lay flat. Again, if you don't want it to lay flat, then you can certainly make less. But we want it to lay flat. So the shorter stitches, you don't need to work as many around the chain so that it lays flat. Now, if you were making a stuffed animal, then you probably would not be using triple crochet stitches very much because you don't want it to see through. But you never know, you might encounter this technique, and so you'll know how to do it. And it's good practice with the basic stitches. So let me see, how many do we have going on here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 10. Let's see how 14 is. You can see there's a big gap there. 11. 12. I might need to do more than that. So we're already here. You can, with this, when you're working around, you can just push those guys down. 13. I think we might need to make like 16. 14. I think 16 might be the ticket. 15. And let's see if this is 16. And these are super easy to count. You just grab them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, we have 16. Now we're going to join the top of this chain 4 with our slip stitch. So just pop that guy in there, yarn over, pull through, and pull through. You can see it's cupping a little bit, but it's laying flat pretty well. So we have 16 triple crochet around. So we are going to work some triple crochet around the top here, just so you get a little bit more practice. So you'll work 2 in each. I don't know if we'll go all the way around because 16 times 2 is 32. That's a lot of triple crochet, but just you get the idea of how it would work. If you're working in a pattern, you need to increase. All right, I think we'll just stop right there. But if you wanted to keep going, you could continue to work 2 around, and then you would join with the slip stitch on the top. So that is how you work half double crochet around a chain and how you work triple crochet around a chain. Thank you so much for watching.